So now we're recording. Yay.
Okay.
But do you all want to do the vital behaviors just as a reminder, since we have made that a tradition and starting off each meeting?
I think it's always a good idea to be reminded.
Well, then go for it.
Me go for it? Okay. Oh, well, I'm going to be much less eloquent than you, but our 4 vital behaviors are invite, invite, invite. And that's, as a sideline, is going to be part of what we're talking about tonight. Number 2, be a product of the product. So live our life out loud. Live, making these changes in our life, live them out loud. Bringing about the best health that we can for ourselves. Personal development, which has really taken center stage for me lately. And I'm very grateful for that. And it comes in all kinds of forms. But personal development, every day seeking to grow yourself as a person, as a human being, not just as a Beachbody coach, but as a human being. And number 4, which is new this year, is recognize, recognize, recognize. So even in the smallest things, whether it's between us on our team or with our challengers, to stop and express recognition and gratitude and give a little hoorah for people who are making giant leaps or taking baby steps or anything in between. Just recognizing every forward step on this journey, whether it's as a coach or as a challenger. And living by those each day, putting a little something into each one of those every day, and you will grow in success as a coach.
I like it.
Thank you.
Hello. Trying to see if she'll hop.
There's a ding dong. Shannon, I haven't seen you in forever. I don't think she hears me yet.
Hi, Shannon.
Time got away from me. Sorry.
Only a minute or 2.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, crap. It's already 10 after 9.
We only just the record button.
Got started. So.
Okay, Shannon, pop quiz. What are the 4 vital behaviors?
Invite, invite, invite. Be a product of the product. Oh, crap. I got 2. I don't remember the other 2.
Something to invest in yourself.
So professional development, and I don't remember the 4th one.
Shannon, you're doing such a great job. I'm so proud of you for remembering these 3 vital behaviors. And the 4th one is recognize, recognize, recognize.
Accolades. I learned a new word on my last trip, and it was called accolades.
Accolades. I like it. That is a great word.
Isn't that a good word?
Shannon.
That's fun. Accolades. I like accolades.
That's a great word. Okay, Coach Jason.
Hi. All right. No, after talking with Mom, we kind of wanted to cover, sorry, I'm glancing at my notes. That's what I do. Talk about challenge groups tonight, just since it is something that is like the meat and potatoes of being a coach, and how I love them because that's how I was first helped. But also, too, what keeps me most accountable, and it's the best way for me to help my challengers moving forward. So we just kind of wanted to cover what a challenge group is, how to do it, all the different varieties that you can do, and just kind of get creative.
Take away some of the mystique of them.
I guess, yeah. But really, I guess we wanted to start I'll start with just some of my history, in Beachbody and everything, because I had never done a challenge group until a couple years ago, because I've been doing Beachbody stuff for over 10 years. I did the original Turbo Jam back in high school, but I never knew coaching was a thing. I just knew I really liked Chalene Johnson. But a few years ago, I was just scrolling through Facebook, and I saw one of my friends post about PiYo getting ready to come out, and that she was running a support group for it. So I asked her about it, and she kind of told me about the challenge group, just how it's a private group where we'll be there for support. Of course, she did the whole spiel on the challenge pack. I did not see the value in the challenge pack at the time. I did not get Shakeology, just because I was like, no, it's too expensive. It's like, that's stupid. But honestly, but
It's a gift.
yeah. But I did, like, just being me, like, I joined her challenge group with just the PIO. It was me, my coach at the time, who was Becca, and like a handful of other women. I was the only guy in the group, but I was also the only person in the group actually posting every single day. Like, even Becca wasn't even checking in all that much, but I just knew myself, even spending the $50, $60 on the program, that, okay, I'm going to get what I can out of it, and I'm going to make posts. So I actually was a part of 3 challenge groups. Hi, Sabra. No, she's still logging in. Hi. I was a part of 3 of Becca's challenge groups, and in each one, I was seriously the only one making a post every single day, just as a challenger. And I would actually hear from other challengers in the group, just like they would actually reach out to me too and just say how, like, I was helping them. And then, of course, Becca kind of chimed in with the whole, hey, do you want to know about coaching thing? But, and of course, by that point, like, I did decide to give Shakeology a try. I think it was finally in my 3rd challenge group is whenever I was like, fine. Like, I did my research into it, because a lot of people, like, I encourage people to do your own research, because I can sit here and talk about it all day, but unless you actually see the value, just do your own research into it. But that's what kind of led me into actually becoming a coach, was being a part of the challenge groups, and that being happy for my natural introverted self, because you do it online. Like I have to admit, like, even now, you all are all my friends, but I can't make eye contact too much with the screen, because it makes me really, really nervous. But like, that's what the other thing I love about challenge groups is it was the first thing that like actually allowed me to find and use the voice that I had, that I didn't know that was there, because I was never one to actually speak up and express those things. So finding this platform to be able to write and help people that way, like, that's what I fell in love with. And to see the way that people responded, like, to my post or my story, and then for them to start sharing, was just absolutely incredible. So once I actually became a coach, my original coach, Becca, kind of fell away, and I got adopted by Nikki. But even then, I was just thrown into the Beatnik team page, which we all know is absolutely huge. And so I just kind of started scrolling a little bit, and I saw that she had a sign up for a new coach training. So I was like, I'm a new coach, so I might as well sign up for that. So I signed up for that and started going through her training. And Nikki herself is very big on challenge groups as well, because that's where she got a lot of her transformation and where she found her voice. So that's what she trained a lot on. And she encouraged that no matter how new you are, no matter how scared you are, no matter how unprepared you feel, she's like, start a group. She was like, it doesn't have to be anything huge. It can be a free group. It can be just anything where you invite a group of people to support one another as you all work towards something together. She was like, it doesn't even have to be Beachbody related. So by that point, I had already felt the effects of Shakeology personally, and having, like, I think I'd had it 3 or 4 months by that point and saw a huge drop in my triglycerides. So I decided, I'd only been a coach for a month, and I got Nikki's Shakeology 7-day template. At the time, they didn't have the Shakeology sampler pack, so I actually had to order the big boxes of the packets and then make my own little kits and then ship them out. But I just started sharing my personal story about Shakeology and how it helped my triglycerides, where no medications or no other diets had. And I really was still learning about everything, but just from that one experience that I started sharing, people were responding and showing interest. So my very first challenge group was a 7-day Shakeology, like clean eating challenge group. I used Nikki's template. I inserted my own stories, and it just kind of grew from there. So like I said, to me, Shakeology too, but challenge groups have always been like my go-to source of accountability just for myself, but to also help my challengers, and to just keep finding my voice. Because half the time what I end up posting in a challenge group or where I get inspired from the challenge group translates into posts on my personal page too. So
yeah, I find that too.
Yeah. So what about you, Mom? What was your backstory like, really quick?
Well, really quick, it was that I said no to your invitation 3 times. Okay. He says 3 times. I don't even really remember. I'm sure it was something that just kind of went by me, and I go, oh, honey, thank you, but not right now, or something. I don't know.
You weren't even in my first Shakeology challenge group.
No. I don't even remember being aware of it. So I just wasn't tuning in much at all. And I wish I could tell you what that little moment of turning was, and maybe it was just that it was my son, and he, I couldn't say no to him anymore, or maybe there was something in that moment that occurred to me that I needed to give something a try. I do remember that feeling that if I didn't make some kind of change, and even though I knew what changes to do, I had no program to start implementing. It seemed overwhelming to me to start trying to figure out how to balance my food and how to get better nutrition and how to start doing a workout program. So I just didn't do anything. So when I finally did say yes to Jason and I did immediately with a challenge pack, even though I had my own reservations because I didn't do research prior to that. Even doing the program, I considered it almost like part-time. I did the program Monday through Friday, and Saturday and Sunday I sort of sloughed off. I wasn't terrible, but I didn't do my workouts. I didn't pay attention to the cups. But I still had success in that first challenge group. So I knew this was something real and something that aligned with my own personal philosophies of clean eating, balanced eating, which was my thing. And I didn't even realize how out of proportion my portions were. And then I also had my own wake-up call with Shakeology and Dense Nutrition, just in how it helped me with my energy. So I knew I needed to keep going. I knew I needed some method of being accountable. So initially, I signed up for a coach to get that discount because I knew I wanted to stay on it and to have personal accountability, that if I was going to do that, it was going to keep me accountable to myself. That was in January. I had started in October. Then in January, I signed up to be a coach. And I think it was February 1st. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I just saw that people were doing challenge groups. I can't even tell you that I went through a whole course of training with Nikki or on Beatnik. It was overwhelming at first. There's a lot of information that comes at you, and you're trying to just hit at all the balls that come at you and hope you make contact with something. But one of the things I latched onto was challenge group. So I thought, okay, I'll do a free challenge group. And I did a free crockpot challenge group. And it was hugely successful as a challenge group. I felt very confident. Again, like Jason said, I found the template on Nikki's in her files section. And I just modified my daily comments or posts to be my voice and to share, my story. But I used her template for the recipes, and they were new to me too. So I was like the challenger with my challengers going through this crockpot journey. But I was sort of just like the leader of I was the little leader of the group. I was the facilitator. And it was as simple as that. What I can say honestly is that not a single person that was in that challenge group is one of my customers. They are probably like signed up under me with a free account. Many of them are, but have never purchased from me. So what I see the value of free accounts are in finding your voice and in learning how to share, learning how to show up every day, learning how to shepherd people, learning myself personally, all of the different ways that you can experience a challenge group. From that point, the next month, I think I did a paid challenge group, and I might have had 2 people. I think Jason, I think I was able to bring my people into Jason's group.
Yeah.
Is how it worked initially.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause I mean, my first few challenge groups maybe had me and 2 other people in it. So
right.
No amount of people to find a challenge group, even if it's just you and one person supporting one another. That's we all start somewhere. So
exactly.
But what kind of experience have you 3 had in a challenge group, or what's one big thing that you could say that you've taken away from either participating or hosting your own group? We'll start with Chelsea.
Already doing everything else.
I think one of the big things is trying to get your challengers to communicate.
Mm-hmm.
I know, like, especially with one right now, Margaret, that I just signed up, like, she'll talk with me, like, over Messenger.
Yeah.
And we get a lot of communication there. But as far as, like, in the challenge group, like, nothing.
Yeah.
And I think I've, like, tagged her in, like, posts 2 or 3 times now. And it's just like, nope.
Yeah. And see, my advice with that, because I've had a few people like that, actually have a new challenger in this group too, where I've watched his personal page and he's actually shared some like really good recipes and stuff. So I'll send him like little hints, just be like, that would be great if you shared it in the group. That would be great if you did this, or like if she sends you a personal message, like you can even just come out and say, would you be comfortable sharing that in the group? Because what you just said is really inspiring or really motivational. It could change somebody else's day too. And honestly, just being the challenger that you want your challengers to be for you. That's what I always try to keep in mind is if I'm not checking in, or if I'm not posting, or if I'm not doing something, that's where my own neuroses come in. It's just like, well, if I'm not doing it, then that they're not going to do it either. But
yeah,
between those 2 things, like that typically kind of gets them out of their shell a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what about you, Shannon? What's your experience been like?
Well, I mean, I think as my biggest experience was initially as a challenger, because that's kind of what gave me that push and that accountability, just getting involved with the whole transformation process and my health journey. And, I was very, very thankful for that experience. I think I get really defeated when I've had challenge groups and people don't participate. And now, like, I feel like I'm guilty of that right now, of just being busy and not participating in a challenge group the way that I should. So, there's that whole balance thing of making sure that you yourself are participating in the challenge group as well as encouraging others to participate too. But like I said, initially that was like my big hook, and that was what really got me involved, and what really, it was life-changing, period. It was life-changing. So I know and see the value of that, and I need to find my platform or my voice to push that, to show others how important and valuable that is.
Yeah. See, and I've even gotten to the point at some points where I've set reminders on my phone to go off at a certain time each day as my own personal reminders. Because working at the salon too, like there are some days like today, between taking Butters to the vet and then working a full shift, like I literally made my first post in the challenge group at 9:00 tonight, right before this. But yeah.
The other thing that I've noticed too, I've been in that the 20-day, or not the 20-day, but the BOD Before Breakfast challenge group that Tony, is it Carl's running that way. And that has been absolutely phenomenal. I've been a spectator of that, because that's super motivating to me, because I see all these other people who are posting, and I'm like, I'm getting my butt out there and I'm going to take care of my business. And so even just seeing that, and I have been taking care of my business. I've been posting my business, but I've been taking care of my business. So that's kind of getting back into that whole deal of, following it up. But that has been super motivating to see so many different people in so many different levels in their journey. It's motivating. And, I do want to share that with others, and I want others to be a part of that.
Yeah.
One of the things you all might not realize is that in our group, we have a member or two in our group that are other coaches that are there to help keep people engaged, or maybe not in this group, but in prior groups that I've hosted, I've had fellow coaches, and like I'll be on her group and she'll be on mine, and we are there to make comments and to make posts and to help drive active, participation with people. So that's a nice thing. I think one of the things after we hear from Sabra too, that Jason might be talking about as far as partnering up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what about you, Sabra?
Hi, Sabra.
Hi. Sorry for all the background noise. I cannot get my toddler to sleep, so if you hear screaming, he's okay. I think my experience is probably the opposite, because I hadn't, other than like a big Beachbody hosted challenge group, I hadn't been in any challenge groups when I signed up to coach. So like, the only one I'd been in was like a 20,000 member group that like I was just a spectator. And it motivated me for sure, but I hadn't been in any like more intimate challenge groups when I signed up to coach. So I definitely like it a lot. Up until recently, I had a really hard time. Sorry. I had a really hard time also getting people to participate, which was so discouraging. But with the two, like I did the month before last, I did a free Beachbody On Demand group, and it seemed like for some reason people I think have been kind of watching and kind of wanted to jump in, like that was their in, and it got a lot of people to sign on that hadn't before, and people that actually participate and kind of are into it. So that's been nice the past little bit.
Yeah. And seeing that's like one of the things that like I'm always just continued to be blown away by. Because there's been a couple months before where I literally didn't have any challengers at all. Like no action, nobody wanted to participate. So I actually didn't end up running a challenge group a few months. That's whenever, like through talking with Nikki and everything, that it's the mindset of using your public page basically as your challenge group. And making the post that you would like in a private group, but that way so everybody can almost follow your journey publicly. And just how many people, whether they like it or comment or not, but actually see it. And then whenever you reach out to them, they say, oh yeah, I've seen your post. Like that's what blows me away, is how many people actually see it but don't interact. So that's always one thing everybody could do, is just start getting in the habit of treating your page kind of like your own personal challenge group and making daily posts. But yeah, if you want to talk about like partnering up or success partners or things like that, Mom.
Okay. Well, like I was saying earlier, I think my first couple of groups, I did not open up my own personal page. Jason told me that I was welcome to bring, that we could work together. And that's what I did, because, I might have had, one or two people each month, the first month, first couple of months. And it was a good way to kind of wade into it without feeling totally responsible for every element of opening a group page. My the witness that was being shown to me were coming up with these really cutesy names and creating these amazing banners, and that element of it was a little overwhelming to me, because I struggle. I can't just whip something out. I've since learned that it's not that big of a deal, but regardless, at the time I felt like that just relieved me of a lot of the creativity pressure, and I could focus and hone in on just talking about the implementing the changes and what it meant on a daily basis to eat healthy and make good choices and get that workout done, and focus on those basics and find my voice and my rhythm there. We all have something to bring. It's easy to play comparison game. I play it with Jason. I play it with some of the other coaches I follow. I can't help it. I'm a human being, and I'm going to fall prey to that from time to time. But I also know that I have a valid voice that's unique only to me, and that I need to just rest in that and trust in that, if my beliefs are sound and this is where I feel led to be, then I need to trust in that, not try to mimic somebody else's voice per se. I might mimic a platform or mimic a template, but the voice is my own. The voice is my own. And so yes, partnering up is always an option. We could just throwing this out there. You guys, within our daily group, Daily Empire group, you could partner up with each other to run a challenge group for August. You can step outside of this group and post in the Beatnik page and find somebody in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Whoever responds. I've done a couple of success partners with people outside of our area and some within the area that are not in our particular little circle. You learn a lot of things, from watching another coach, some good and some not so good. You learn how you want to coach and you learn how you don't want to coach. And that's all good. It's all learning.
Yes.
So that it's important, I think, sometimes to experience the partnership. Number one, because it can relieve you of some of that initial pressure, but give you the freedom to really find your expression for your challengers. Mm-hmm. And then when you feel ready, you can, do a launch out on your own and, bring people into that group. Or you can continue a relationship. Jason and I pretty much solidified that we are taking the success partner thing seriously and every month working on this, but that doesn't mean we aren't available to you guys to help out as well. So, we've got several other coaches that are often not on these calls, but that are very interested in creating a business and doing this as their, whether it's part-time as a hobby or full-time as a career, that I think would be willing to partner. It might be that one element that's holding them back from taking those steps. It is kind of scary. It's kind of daunting. It's a big responsibility, but it's also very exciting. And every month I get super excited for the opening of the next group and really nervous about doing it right and want to make it, the best group ever. And of course it always falls short of my expectations, but the thing is I'm working towards that expectation though. I'm working to make them better and to try to bring something new to it. That's why Jason and I decided to do this personal development, this book, this month. And that was something we actually picked up from our national wake-up call. That was 2 weeks ago, an idea from the person who spoke that week. So plugging into your national wake-up call gives you a lot of good fodder, a lot of good stuff to latch onto to help with your running challenge groups as well. But what do y'all think about partnering up? Is that something you've thought about? Have you already done it? What do you think?
I've
definitely thought about it. I've actually thought about almost posting like a personal ad, like success partner wanted.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, I'm like, well, what if more than one? Like, I don't want to be put in a position where I have to like, not you. Okay, I'll take you. So
yeah.
I'm kind of like, I don't know. I don't want like the first, I don't want to just, this is going to sound bad, but I don't want to partner with just anybody. Like,
right.
I want somebody that's going to like mesh with me.
Yeah.
Right.
So I just don't like being in a position where I have to be like, no.
I'm sorry, not you today.
I would definitely, kind of like what Mom said, definitely encourage, like, whether just through our team or through Beatnik, but partnering, especially for your first group, is a great way to start. But also too, just like your group, your free group Saber with the water and the walking group, like that's awesome. Like I wouldn't have ever thought of it, but be creative. Like it doesn't have to be completely beach club related. The other thing I like about challenge groups is that, to me, it kind of takes away that feeling of being salesy. Sorry, we have 4 minutes, so I'm going to bust through a couple bullets really quick. But like if you're inviting someone to a challenge group, to me it takes that pressure off of, oh, you like buy this thing for me, and that's it. Because you're basically just inviting somebody to be a part of the group. So it's either going to be a yes or a no. In the beginning, I didn't require certain things for people to be in the challenge group. It was just for people wanting to be healthier, looking for accountability. Now I'm more selective, I'm more picky, because I know at this point my time is very valuable, because whether or not people get results in the group, like I really am donating all of my time and effort that I put into the challenge group for free. So now, like whenever I do have those conversations with people and I get to know what their goals are and everything, I tell them that, well, admission or enrollment into the challenge group and to have this time with me is a challenge pack. And then I go into why the challenge pack's important. I help pair them up with a program that's going to best fit their goals and what they're looking for. I typically present them with 2 to 3 different options. And then also say too, if they start asking, yes, Shakeology is a requirement for me. One, because the challenge pack offers the absolute best deal that they're going to get, because even if they just buy a program by itself and then later want Shakeology, they're going to be overspending. Shakeology to me too also guarantees me as their coach that I know that they're at least getting one extremely nutrient-rich meal a day. And because I'm not there to cook for them or to monitor what they're eating. So as their coach, that's part of my job, is to make sure that they're at least getting that one meal a day. And that's kind of how I present it. And again, they're left with another yes or no option. I don't push it onto them, but I let them know that this is what you're going to get from me, and this is what I expect from you, and this is the enrollment. It's just like being a part of the gym. The great thing about this is that you buy this one challenge pack, and for the rest of your life, as long as I'm a coach, you have access to be in any challenge group that you want to be in, as long as you're consistently showing up and meeting that criteria. So that's kind of how I present it, and it takes that pressure off of just trying to sell something for the sake of selling it, because it's when it's posed as this is what your enrollment is. To me, it's not selling. It's just like, this is what it is. It's no less than people making the decision to join a gym. So, but yeah, to me, that kind of covers pretty much just what a challenge group is. Just be creative. It's just a group of people getting together to support one another and for you to kind of hold yourself accountable and move along. And yeah, Mom.
Just as resource, don't forget to check out either the Beatnik page,
oh yes,
the Our File section, and on our back office under Tools for Business. I think it's like maybe the second tab over that you can find, and they have new templates that they have put up. Yes, Shannon?
So I'm good.
Okay. I saw the hand wave. I thought it was like me.
No.
But they have new templates put up there too that are great to draw from for every program that's out there. They have a different template. Graphics, you can use their graphics. You can use your own. You can just get the idea for what to post for the day from there. So a lot of resources out there. You don't have to reinvent the wheel on a daily basis.
Yeah. And then hopefully before it cuts us off, because less than a minute, one new thing that we're going to start offering is I'm going to throw up a sign-up sheet in our team page, because Mom and I are going to offer this month 2-on-1 personal Zooms. So if you all want to sign up for a personal call where you'll meet with Mom and I, and we just all three of us kind of chat, we'll have a sign-up sheet either tonight or tomorrow. So that'll be fun coming up this week. And I'll post the rest of the announcements in the group because it's going to get ready to shut us down. So thank you all so much for showing up tonight. Who's that? Oh, Kat. All righty.
Thank you all so much.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk more in a group